Is the IRS?
All right. Everybody comfortable? Everybody ready?
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let the games begin.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da.
You're welcome to the Nightly Strange.
Welcome to Nightly Strange, ladies and gentlemen. We are your hosts, D-Mac Uno.
Rozzy the champ.
Kay Stanley.
Oh, say less.
Getting Kilo Keys on the track.
And welcome to another exciting episode. How's everybody's week been?
Long.
Yeah, it did feel like that.
Yeah.
I just had a good week, man. I just got back from the ocean. That was pretty cool. I wasn't getting in that water though. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. Like, I watched too many ocean films for me to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna swim in the wide-eyed ocean. You know,
Like
like
right to a Megalodon shark.
it's something. Knowing my luck. Knowing my luck.
Wait,
LL Cool J's gonna pop up.
You see that video with Samuel L. Jackson where he's in the store and the people are like, Samuel, my son got bit by a shark because he saw you in a movie with one. It's like,
Yeah, I seen that commercial. That was pretty funny.
my child's 4 and can't stop saying
listen, I watched Deep Blue Sea within the last year, and I feel like that movie still holds. I just want to throw that out there.
Man, that's like a 90s version or 2000s version of Jaws, man.
Jaws Day was on the beach and then like the movie my bad. My bad, Kay Stanley. I apologize. Dang, I gotta edit so much.
Yep.
Deep Blue Sea, right? They were like genetically making the sharks smarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever happened to those the one sharks, the lava sharks. You remember those ones?
Lava sharks?
Yeah, so a while back, right, there's like this, I guess there's this place underwater, like a cavern or something like that, but it was like filled with water, so I guess it's not a cavern. Anyways, there was an earthquake underground and it busted open, and all these sharks that have been living off magma, like, you know what I'm saying, like in ash in the ocean, got free. Like hella sharks. You know what I'm saying? They were just stuck in there, kind of like a horror movie, but for the sea. And so they were supposed to track them and figure out where they went. It's a real story. Like they lived in a
they're
volcano
alive.
and they ate
I
in the
think I
volcano.
heard about
Yeah.
that. They probably died. They
Damn.
probably died since they're
Nah, bro, a
Yeah.
shark thing. But if you're living off volcanic ash, you get to taste the seal finally. Oh, the world is your oyster.
But then I was wondering if it would be too cold, because I know that there's I think they're called lava bears, but they're tiny, like little organisms that feed off like the lava and stuff. And I would imagine if you start to move away that they wouldn't be able to survive because they're conditioned to reside in a certain type of hot habitat. So I would wonder for those sharks if, you know, they had, you know, the habitat was changed and now it's colder, they may not be able to survive because they're used to living in basically lava or like a lava tube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty smart.
Mhm.
I wonder. I think a
Thank
shark
you,
would
Kay
be.
Stanley.
Yeah, for real.
Is that where you
Thank
were
you.
going with this, Kilo?
That's where I was going. Heck yeah. The environment don't
Hell
change.
yeah.
Like, it's not the same.
Oh,
But
man.
as Dr. Ian Malcolm would say from Jurassic Park, life will find a way.
Yes.
Yo.
What's your favorite Jurassic Park?
Oh, first one.
The first one.
I go with. I like the first one's OG, right? My favorite one's the third one though.
What's is that the
The
bird
third one
cage?
is the third one is they take Dr. Ian Grant from the first one, right? And they put him on the second island. Because the
Right.
first movie takes place on, you know, the theme park. The second movie takes place where they grow the dinosaurs before they bring them to the park.
Okay.
Because there's 2 islands. And
Right.
so they take Dr. Alan Grant, the one with the hat, and they put him on the third island because these people trick him into thinking that they're going to fly over it and look at it, but they're trying to rescue their son. And
The
they're
dude
like,
from Shameless, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And they were like, well, I thought you, he's like, I thought you've been here before. He's like, yeah, I've been here before. Not on this island. So, and then it's like, you know, the raptors can talk to each other. Yeah, the third one's my favorite one.
Yes. And then that dude steals an egg.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I do remember that one.
Yeah. And they're like, why are they chasing us? And he's like, oh, no.
It's like, yeah, you stole an egg, motherfucker.
Like,
Exactly.
Thanks for
That's
saving
why
my
they're
bag.
upset.
Yeah.
So first one, your first one. So the third, Kilo and I are the first one. Rozzy, what's your favorite?
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah, and then after that, I mean, after I saw the second one, I just lost interest.
Yeah. I could see that one.
I
The
could
second
see
one
that,
wasn't
yeah.
exciting as the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you, Rozzy, with that
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I did find amazing is the composer who did that has done so much music. So the composer of the da-na-na, that guy, right?
Yeah.
And he did the Jaws. He gave
Yep.
us Star Wars. He gave
Yep.
us Schindler's List. He gave us the Harry Potter theme song.
Uh-huh.
So much, and from this one dude. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of dope. That one dude was giving us all these bangers from these movies.
Dude.
Yeah.
Hey,
Big moment.
hey, but here's a big warning though. Did anyone have intentions on seeing the Joker movie?
Nah. So people told me it was bad.
It's
I watched it.
It's a musical.
What do you think about it, Kilo?
It's
I fell asleep.
They said it was going to be a musical. I was like, I don't do musicals.
I went to sleep.
Uh-uh.
You
Honestly,
did?
I went to, yeah. I fell asleep. I woke up. The credits were on. So
Oh no! Did you see it? Wait, hold on, because Kilo is a working fella. So did you see it too late, or do you think it was just that boring?
it was just that boring. I watched it at my house.
Oh, okay. Well, there's nothing you can do about
Yeah,
that.
that's the only way I'd watch it, dude. It did like the
Yeah.
advertisement. As soon as they told me it was a musical, I was like, nah, I don't do musicals. The last musical I had to watch, I didn't have to watch it, but I watched it was Wonka. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, I remember
Okay,
like-
the new
Yeah.
one.
yeah, the new one. It's like, look, I have to watch the Wonka movie. So I watched it. The first time I realized I don't like musicals is Sweeney Todd with what's his name? Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, Johnny Depp. I
Johnny
checked that
Depp.
one
Yeah,
out.
yeah, Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
I was like, nope.
I was like, wait. I'm sitting there, and this was like when I was with my first or second baby's mom. I was like, wait, are they gonna sing through this whole thing? It's like, nah, I ain't doing this. I ain't doing
Yeah.
this at all.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's mad annoying. Like,
That's horrible. They just ruined that whole franchise. Like
The
the
Joker
first
had
one,
a lot of potential.
yeah, it did. Like, why would you
Yep.
turn the second one into a musical? Excuse my language, but
Yeah.
No, let it out. Fuck that
No.
shit.
yeah, why would you turn it? It was great, like the story, and then they were like, I'm thinking in my mind, okay, we get to see the Joker now since he turned into the Joker at the end of it. You watch that whole movie, and you're like, ooh. So you heard they're gonna make another one. You're like, oh, he's already deep into what he's doing, you know.
Yep.
But it's a musical.
Committed.
Yeah.
Do they have?
musical.
You saw it, Kilo. Like this. I'm
He
not.
falls in love. He meets Harley Quintel and fall in love, and they start singing musicals and shit together, and it's fucking. It was a lot going on in that movie
Mm.
that wasn't interesting. Like a whole lot.
I
of
gotta
nothing.
check it out. Like, but I mean, I wouldn't pay to go to see it in theaters.
But
You know,
I'll
that's
tell
what I was debating. Sorry, Rozzy. That's
Oh,
what I
no,
was
no.
debating. I was like, I saw these showtimes that were playing, and I went to go get ticket. I was like, man, all these empty ass seats. Like, nah, something's wrong. Something's wrong with that. For a new movie to be released and the whole theaters is green because it's empty is a bad thing. You know what
They
I'm
didn't.
saying?
They didn't really advertise it that much either. It was weird. Like,
Mm-mm.
The
that should've been
advertisements I saw were
Yeah.
just like the action scenes, right? Like, oh, like it looks like, oh, there's gonna be a whole bunch of ass kicking and this and that, and you see them on the fence together, but when you see the movie, it was just you have to see it to understand it, but it was fucking, this was a money grab for sure, a money grab, like a dead ass money grab.
Mhm.
Joker singing an auto tune and shit, like what?
damn, damn.
all I had to say was Penguin. That's a good ass show.
Yeah,
If you
Penguin's a good
got-
show.
Man, if you got HBO Max, watch that Moan Joker. That Moan Joker. They did Penguin right.
But that movie too, that Batman movie was hard to get through. You know what I'm saying? The one with dude from Twilight,
Oh, yep. Oh, you mean the Batman?
the Batman. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys see that one?
Yeah, I saw that.
Which one was
Yes.
that one?
Oh,
That was
my
a
name
cr-
is Vengeance.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, the newest
Yeah.
one, huh?
So that one,
Yeah.
so the Penguin show, Penguin's in that movie, and it takes place right after the end of the Batman movie. You know what I'm saying? And so now they're just, and it just follows the Penguin story. But it's
Yeah.
dope because he's like, he works for the mob and shit. Like, and he's not the Penguin yet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but he's like up there already. But he's up there, but he's not like up there. So he's not running stuff. So it's actually a really good show.
Yeah.
Really good show.
Check that out.
The one with Our Past, I thought it had a really good soundtrack that they gave for whatever that is, the I Am Vengeance. I thought that music was really good. It kind of felt more like a noir. Some of the, I don't know if it was Batman Beyond, but it kind of felt like they were dialing down the superhero and they really wanted to lean in on like this moody detective. And that's something that I don't think that we've seen in the Batman realm.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that,
they've always had like the detective scenes in Batman, but like what you're saying is true. Yeah, he was like actually like, he was always a detective, but I see what they're focusing more on that. But for me, the movie just took so long. Like,
To develop, you mean?
yeah, it took so long. And then, I mean, it came out good at the end. I was like, okay, cool. But like, it took me 2 days to watch it.
Mm.
Damn.
Mm.
That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
like for me, it's like when the last Justice League came out. That movie's 4 hours. If I turn it on, I'm watching the whole movie.
Oh, okay. But facts though, I was just like, this is what they should have shown me in theaters
In
because
theaters,
I actually
exactly.
there was so much that I think that if you didn't know, then you're missing out a lot of context. Like for me, like Cyborg, you don't really realize like how much like that storyline was chopped and screwed
Yeah, yeah,
until you watch the full four, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Oh,
And
the
then-
Snyder cut.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, that one was a worthwhile 4 hours.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. And yeah, when you watch the first Justice League and then you watch this one, you're like, when the actors are like, yo, why they did it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, this isn't the movie we filmed. And then like when you watch the 4 hour clip, yeah, that 4 hour movie is amazing. Amazing movie. And they're like, you know, and you think about the old one, like they took Cyborg and just put him in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just some character in the back that like just like, ooh, lurking in the shadows. But the whole, if you watch the 4 hour one, the whole movie was about him. It was based off him. Like he was like the main character because
You
he
get
was
a whole bunch of backstory.
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of backstory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah. They said it's like him at the end. They had to mess with the box, and then the Flash. You know what I'm saying? Like he was an integral part. He was part of the box. You know, and then like even when Stephen, yeah, I think we talked about this before. I love that movie.
Well, I mean, so that kind of leads into something else you want to talk about. So, was it that what movies are still holding up for us, or which movies are no longer holding up for us? You had posed that, had asked that for us.
Let me think. I mean, I could say a movie that doesn't hold up for me anymore. I don't really watch them. There's movies I do watch that I go back to constantly, but like if I don't like a movie, I take it off my list. Like King Kong and Godzilla. That's not doing it for me anymore. I mean, like they cut the budget at the end where they're fighting in Egypt, of all places. Like the first movie, you had them fight in Tokyo. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it was Tokyo or Hong Kong, one of the two.
Yeah.
Big old city, right? Knocking buildings down, people getting crushed. And then this
water.
one, you know what I'm saying? It's all crazy fighting. Like it's just what you want to see from a Godzilla movie. And then this time they're fighting in Egypt. They're running around pyramids. I'm like, okay, we saving money on the budget, huh? Like, why didn't you have them storm New York or something, or like another big city somewhere? Like that's where it should be happening.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? At all times. But I don't know. And then it's just the human aspect of the movie. Like I don't understand how that little girl is showing him sign language.
And how he understands it or what?
And how he understands, because she's like the size of his pinky, but she's so. I'm like, bro, what do nipples look like to you, King Kong? You know what I'm saying? Do you look at other? Oh, he need Q-tip. You know, like.
Maybe he has really good eyesight. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna presume he does, but still, I think DMAC has a point that maybe it's because it's gone on for so long that they're just don't know how to just do anything original with the whole King Kong Godzilla type combo.
Well, I mean, they have that show called The Monarch on Apple TV, and that show is amazing.
Oh,
You don't like it?
No. I feel like that was slow. Yeah, my husband, he got into it. I just feel like that was kind of slow for me. Oh,
I like Kurt
Yeah.
Russell.
might as well wave. We can see you.
What up?
What up?
What up? What up?
No, The Monarch is a great show. I like it. I mean, did you
Yeah.
finish it?
I did.
Okay, so you didn't drop no tears at the last episode? Eyes didn't get watery?
No.
I was there. I was
No.
like, oh my God. Oh, after
Goodness.
so many years. I don't even want to ruin the show for people, but it's been out.
Okay.
But I thought it was
Okay.
good because the Monarch goes, that's who hunts the king, Godzilla and all them. You watched it. And I like that how it showed it in depth. It showed the people. That's how I like the people story. Then when you watch the movies, they're weird. I don't know. Like
I like the Monarch one though. The movie, now that had me in my feelings with the giant moth and all of that, or whatever that was.
That was
Was
yeah.
that
That had
Godzilla?
me. Yeah,
That-
it was
yeah,
like
that
one of
was.
those. What was it, Kilo? Which one was that one?
Damn, that was fuck, that was, oh my God. I think it was the one right before Godzilla and Kong.
Was it
And,
King of the Monsters?
King of the Monsters. One of the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pam,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was really good, and that had me in my feelings. A couple like kind of sad and stuff,
That was
and
really
it had
sad.
very beautiful cinematography.
Yes.
Where you're just like, look at this background stuff. I don't know what. So one of the ones that slaps for me when I think of cinematography. Oh my! I always butcher this, which Star Wars it was, but it's the one where freaking Kylo is getting ready to face off with Luke,
Yes, that was
on that planet, and every time the dirt moves, it looks like blood powder.
yeah, that was good.
so
That
pretty.
whole movie that movie was like I didn't like the whole thing where they get chased by the ship the whole time in the ship, but the rest of the movie, like when Kylo Ren and what's her name fought those they killed whoever's the head of the Sith, right? Then they had to fight everybody in that room. That's like that whole movie had like beautiful cinematography in it, but the story was like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like how
Story was ass.
it was ass, right? Check it out. So first of all, you're using all these old ships from the original Star Wars. Like, why are the rebels still in these old vehicles? Before, check it out. You don't have these rebellion. You guys are the Republic already now. You know what I'm saying? That's what threw me off. And it's like the whole time they're getting chased in a ship. They do this whole thing. They lose half their fleet for no reason. And now, they lose all the fleet with the big ship. And then now they're just getting chased the whole movie. Leia's just getting chased. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was wax sauce. Then you kill Luke at the end of it. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't like
Kill
that
Luke
either.
Skywalker. Like,
Yeah, no. I get like an energy burst, but then I'm just like, it should have been a little bit more worth it if he's gonna die for that, because he's giving everything. And then that's probably when Kylo should have died then. If he's gonna die, it's because it took everything out of him to take him down. I don't know. I didn't like that either.
Then you kill Kylo Ren. And then there's just Rey.
Yeah, you already
Rey,
know how I
my
feel.
master
She should have gone to the
Skywalker.
dark side. I was so mad when she didn't go to the dark
Yeah.
side.
They should just
Oh, I know. Okay, one that I think that still holds up, that we've all probably seen, Terminator 2. Specifically,
Yeah.
Terminator 2. I think
Terminator
that-
2 still holds up. I like Terminator 4. Salvation,
Is that the one with...
where they finally get into the future. Because the first one, they try to kill his mom. The second one, they try to kill him. The
Right.
third one, they're starting to kill his lieutenants, and his future wife sends a robot back in time to protect both of them and to make sure that they get to safety.
Right, okay.
Because they're trying to stop Judgment Day, and he's like, and they thought he told him like, hey, you go to this bunker, you can stop it. And then they get there and they're like, there's nothing to stop it here. They're like, no. He's like, you were never meant to stop Judgment Day. You can only prevent it. You're just meant to survive it. And then the fourth one takes place, and it's Judgment Day is hit. John Connor's not in charge, and they have the resistance though. You know what I'm saying? And so I like number 4 because they're finally in the future.
Is that the guy that was in Avatar? Is that the fourth
Yes,
one?
yeah.
Okay.
He's in there, and they use his body or whatever, and they create a human with the exoskeleton. But it was weird how he had thoughts and memories and stuff. So it was his body, but he was he had like metal skeleton.
Right, basically AI implanted. Real memories, but not his memories per se.
Yeah. No, they were his memories, his whole
But
life.
he was
It's like,
dead, right?
Yeah, because he was put on death row and he signed the thing, and he asked the lady for a kiss. He was like, he kissed her and she was dying of cancer, and he was like, so that's what death tastes like. And then he just woke up. He was in the factory because John Connor and them went to the factory, came in there. They shot up and were gonna free the hostages. They told Connor to come up to the front because nobody would go up to the top because nobody was answering. And he's like, yo, those dudes better answer me even if they're dead. And he gets up there, they're all dead. The machines that killed them, the machines are dipping off. And John Connor gets in a helicopter and he's trying to chase him, and then boom, the hole where all his people were explodes. Boom, and everybody that was down there with him just died. You know what I'm saying? Like, Salvation goes hard. And then like this chopper goes down, boom, crashes, and then he's like sitting there for a second, and a Terminator grabs his leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like crawling towards him and he's shooting it and shit. And it takes place all in the future.
That's the one that mostly reminds me of the video game. Did you all play that video game back in the day? Yeah, that's to me connects closer to that video game because it's mostly set in the future.
Yeah. What about you? What's your movie that you think? You said Terminator 2. Kilo, you got one?
For me, it's gonna be Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
That was a good one. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
I thought I'm gonna let everybody else go, and I thought of mine too. But go ahead.
Yeah, that was the only Transformers that really resonated with me. I thought that they did a good job. They had Megan Fox in there, Shia LaBeouf, and then every other Transformers that took place afterwards just didn't do it for me.
Well, they took Megan Fox out of Dark of the Moon.
Do you mean Revenge of the Fallen?
Excuse me, Revenge of the Fallen. Yeah.
There we
Revenge of
go.
the
There we
Fallen,
go.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
that
yeah.
one slapped. There we go.
Excuse me. Yeah, thank you.
You know what?
In Revenge of the
tweaking out.
Fallen, they took the moon out. They were trying to take the moon from Revenge of the Fallen. Sorry, Dark of the Moon was the one after, I believe. So yeah,
Dark of the Moon is where they had the because they took Megan Fox out of the third one because She said something
Bad
slick.
mouthing.
She said something slick. She's like, well, you don't really have to act in a Transformer movie. It's more like running and yelling. And he was like, all right, cool.
Oh, is that what happened?
And
Yeah.
no, she was also bad mouthing the director. Like, kind
Okay.
of said he was something like Hitler, or I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. And then he was like, "Oh, really?" So it's
I
not
thought it was to do with money. I could be
Oh.
wrong.
No,
Yeah.
she said something. But
Yeah.
the thing I liked Revenge of the Fallen, it was dope. The thing I didn't like about Revenge of the Fallen is that when we got to the Fallen and you saw his power, that I didn't get to see more of that. Like, cause he went up to the pyramid and was like, put his arm up and was like, whoop, made everything lift up and just crashed it down. You know what I'm saying? I was
Yeah.
like, that's some
Yeah.
power. That's a powerful dude right there.
Yes,
None of the rest of them have that move, but they took him out so hella quick.
that's fair.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, the CGI budget probably wouldn't support everything that he could. I mean, you know.
And then I'm mad too because I wanted a whole. I always be preaching. I just want a movie with nothing but Transformers in it, right? Just straight to Transformers, no humans. Tell me the story of Cybertron from back in the day. Transformers, like the way they make it. You know, they're making the Revenge of the Fallen and stuff. They're gonna make a cartoon one of everything I asked and made it a joke.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
Yeah. Did you
That's
watch
fair.
the cartoon one? You
No,
had to watch it. if you
No,
know
I haven't
it.
watched it yet. I should,
No?
but
Oh.
no, I haven't. I got time. I'm not really interested in watching it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
hear you.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not interested in watching it. I love me some Transformers. I used to be a little kid, and I sent my Transformers down, and then the Transformers be in the cars, and they transform into robots. So I'm sitting there trying to transform them all quick enough to go along with the show. But by the time I got the last one transformed, they had already fought and got back and turned into cars. And so
You used
Yeah.
to have a Jet Scream, huh? Or Star Scream, huh? The
I
Jet.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I remember playing with that when I was.
I always wanted a
Huh.
homeboy that had the boombox in the front of him.
Damn.
Shockwave. Is it Shockwave?
Shockwave. No, Shockwave was he was a bad guy, and he had the big circle.
Yeah, they was all bad guys.
Maybe it was Shockwave. But, I remember having like this cute little Optimus Prime toothbrush that was like a little plug-in. I thought I was so cool when I was a little youth.
Soundwave. Yeah, it was Soundwave.
Soundwave versus because there is a Shockwave.
Yeah, there's a Shockwave. So it was Soundwave. Yeah, Soundwave. When I was a kid, he had a boombox on his chest, right? And they had two cassettes that were robots. And so one was a bird and one was a cheetah. And then they used it. I think they used it in Dark of the Moon. He was in that one. Or one of the two. But yeah, Transformers be dope. Hey, what was your
Man,
my bad?
no.
Damn.
Well, the movie that really stuck out to me, I would have to, go way back. Like, well, okay, everyone remembers Rocky 4. Well, the producers made a remake of Rocky 4, but it's called Rocky versus Drago, and it showed the way they did it back in the day. It's like they put all the deleted parts in that movie. Like it ain't the same or nothing like that. Like you can see Adrian, like you saw Adrian being like, Rocky, don't fight this guy, like really saying don't fight this guy. The commission is like, hey, we're gonna strip you from your title if you fight this dude. It's like, well, I got to, I mean, I gotta fight this guy. And when they showed when Apollo and Drago actually fighting, it really showed Apollo Creed being like going out strong. But hey, when you're on that gas, you're on them roids and stuff, you can do some damage. I mean, some hardcore damage if you ain't careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Rocky versus Drago, that really stuck out to me. And also what stuck out to me was the Wanderers. Why is because, you have all these gangs here and they was all beefing with each other. And then all of a sudden, two big gangs were like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to have all these people on our side.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, they handle it in the football game because they had to get their big homeboys into it. And all of a sudden, basically, that movie was just about brotherhood. Because when the football players, when they were just, playing football, there was this other gang that was like, deep, the Ducky Boys. They had one set of people on this side of the field and another one on this side of the field, and both the football teams was like, yo, we should fight these guys. And all these other gangs, you know, a couple gangs jumped in, was like, okay, hey, we're gonna back y'all up.
Say that movie title again. Hold on, say that movie title.
The Wanderers.
The Wanderers. Okay.
Yeah. And at the end, you know, they whooped their asses, right? I mean, they whooped their asses. You know, you see the Wanderers picking up one of the Dell bombers and say, "Hey, you okay, man? We beat them." And it, you know, when the Ducky Boys went, and they were like, "Okay, hey, we're getting our asses kicked. We're going to go."
Was that a book?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was a book, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, doesn't it start off where like the kids are like they stabbed a? No, it's like socials and like greasers.
Oh, that's The Outsider.
I was thinking at first. I was thinking Outsiders.
But that movie there does stick out still. I mean, people still watch like stuff like The Outsiders, The Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid, not the next two or the next three, because the next Karate Kid, that was ass.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, first Karate Kid. I would have Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah,
shoot.
I mean, shoot. We all had a John Kreese once in our lives, and we all had a Mr. Miyagi once in our lives, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, D-Mac, what's yours?
So the movie that sticks out to me the most that I watched, I had to think about it. It's called Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Ooh,
I watched ever since I've seen that movie as a little kid. Like I show people that movie because it's like it's the same right now. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there in traffic. The guy's honking. And the whole thing is he just wants to go see his daughter for her birthday. But like everything got to him. And like, so he wants to call her. And that's where it started. Like, because he wants to call his daughter and he goes to the store and he's like, hey, I just want to buy a can of soda. And, you know, usually back then a soda was 50 cents for a can.
Yeah.
And it was 50 cents to make a phone call. So first he goes in there. He's like, hey, can I get change? I just want to make a phone call. The guy's like, no change. You got to buy something. He's like, all right, cool. So he goes and grabs the soda. He's like, here. And the guy's like, 85 cents. Or no, a phone call was a quarter back then.
Yep.
It was a quarter back then, excuse me. And so he's like, 85 cents. He's like, 85 cents. He's like, I can't even make a phone call. That's all I want to do. He's like, so does 85 cents. He's like, that's ridiculous. He's like, I give you $1. You give me back 50 cents. And the guy's like, no. You buy or get out. And he just snaps. And so he like, you know, he's like, no, give me, you know, he snaps, goes through the store. He's like, how much is this? You know what I'm saying? The guy's like, you know, he names a price. He tears at the store, but then also he's like, he goes to like the Whammy Burger place.
Yeah.
Over right, and he's like, hey, I just want some breakfast. And they're like, no, we can't serve you breakfast. We stop for serving breakfast at like 11:45 or something like that. And they still have the breakfast food behind them. And so he takes I mean, it's a movie about how society does people. And it's just a great movie. It's a really good, if you have time, you can sit there and watch it and just, you'll be like, damn, this hella relates to today. Or the black dude getting arrested outside the bank because he's protesting because he tried to get a home loan. They wouldn't give it to him. Yeah. And he's like, they said, I'm not economically viable to buy this home in this community.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that you brought that up, honestly, because you're right. It does still relate to many things that we see going on today. The stress of just when someone is just pushed to the edge, right? We all have these different things going on in our lives. And like you said, it was just a series of bad things that really just snapped Michael Douglas's character. I think the breakfast one really stood out because it was, when he showed up, it was like 5 minutes after, like they had stopped serving, the food's still in the bag, and they couldn't just be like, here, let me just give it to you. But no, it's like they just wanted to mess with him. Good one. Good ones today.
Yeah. And speaking of movies, right? Like, what's a movie quote that you just say out loud for no reason?
Motherfucker. Any Samuel L. Jackson movie.
Yep.
I like to be like, Gators bitches better be using Jimmy's. Gator don't play that shit. And so it's from this movie I watched a lot. It's called The Other Guys. It's with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. That movie's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Gator don't play that.
Gator don't play that shit. Have you ever seen it? So in the movie, right, Will Ferrell is just they're cops, right? And he'd rather sit on his desk and just do his computer or whatever, all this stuff, just be a quiet detective. And like he's like, why are you like this? And Mark Wahlberg asked him, and he's like, well, or no, in like all through the movie, like hot women would just be like hitting on him, and he's blowing them off or whatever. Even his wife is hot in the movie, and he's like, why? He's like, why are hot women attracted to you? He's like, why don't you want to do anything? He's like, well, when I was in college, I had a friend, and she asked me, she's going on dates, and she needed protection because she said, you know, guys are crazy. She would pay me to give her protection. He was like, oh, he's like, you were a pimp. He was like, no, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. He's like, and then some of her friends started asking, saw it, and they were asking for protection, so I would give them protection around college. He's like, you had a stable of whores. He's like, no. And they thought, like, maybe I shouldn't use my real name just in case. So he came up with the name called Gator. He was like, you're a full-blown fucking pimp. And he was. Like,
That guy's not safe. You're not going anywhere.
yeah. And like sometimes he'd be snapping. He'd be like, he's like, you a big boy? You put on your big boy pants today? He said, hey, mama, I'm a big boy. I got a belt. And like, he'd be like, Gator, don't play that shit. Like, to me, like, I watch a lot of movies, and the Other Guys is actually one of the funniest movies to me. Like, if you have your chance, watch The Other Guys. That shit is stupid funny. Like, I love it. I love that movie.
I've seen that one. I guess for when I think of a good stupid funny, I think of Due Date. That comes to mind for me. Have you seen that one with Zach Galifianakis and Iron Man?
Yes. Where they miss the flight and they're sleeping in the car and homeboy's beating his meat.
Yes.
And he's like, don't worry, it'll take me about 20 minutes. Don't worry. and he has to just lay there and listen to it.
Yes, and then Dog is doing it too. And he's like, yeah, I thought that was funny. As far as my quote, I like to say, don't you put that evil on me. And that's from Ricky Bobby. If anyone's ever seen that television.
Yes.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan likes to said that to Ricky Bobby, so I say that often. And
You know what, Chip? I piss excellence.
yes, that's pretty. Like we did a quote off on that movie, and my daughter was in it, my husband and I in it, and she tapped out, but we went pretty long, and we just kept going round and round. There's just so many good like one-liner quotes out of that
I'll
movie.
scissor kick you in the back of the head, Chip.
If you're not first, you're last.
You're not
Well,
first,
that's
you're
silly.
last.
You can be second. You can be third. Hell, you can even be fourth.
I want to go fast. Like
Yeah.
that movie was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Exactly.
Look at the shape.
He was a man. He had a beard. I didn't come here for your lip, Chip. Only thing you ever did was have a hot daughter.
That is it. He's like, I think Jesus is like, got a mullet, you know what I'm saying? And a tuxedo shirt, like, he came there to be serious, but he's here to
put him in Leonard Skinner concert.
Oh, that was a good one. What about you, Kilo?
I said my quote. My quote was motherfucker.
Oh,
Anything
sure was.
Sam
My
Jackson.
bad.
Anything Samuel Jackson says, it's always
Hey, when folks be telling me what, I just bust up and be like, say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, Moan Joker. Say what one more goddamn time.
Yes, look at the brain on Brett.
Oh yeah, I did that one. I said that too when some of my co-workers that are like Mr. and Mrs. Know-It-Alls, I'm like, look at the brains on this one.
Yeah. I was talking to Kilo about this earlier, and I wanted to talk about the unrealistic expectations that people put on each other when they're dating and looking around in the world.
Ooh, good stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, I see stuff online, and then I've actually kind of seen it. Like, one time I was at the bar, and this girl was talking to me. She was like 24, so it's not. First of all, that's not going to happen. And she was like, "Ooh, buy me a drink," and I was like, "No, I'm not buying you a drink." Like, and for me, like, if I was a young man trying to get some action at the bar, I'd be like, I'd expect that, but like now it's like it's giving broke.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. 1000%. Like,
I'm
you
like,
can buy your drink.
yeah, you can buy your own drink. Like, if you can't buy your own drink, why are you in here? You know what I'm saying? If we're having a conversation, we sat down. I'm like, if we're leaving after that. We're like, hey, let's go get a bottle and some tacos.
Yeah, I just go get our own.
Yeah, we'll go
get
do our own thing and shit. Like, I don't know. I've dated women and I've run into them. They're like, yeah, I'm really just working until I find a man to take care of me.
I heard that shit too.
Yeah. I know,
would
Case.
get
I
that.
know, Case Stanley. You're happily married.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, but you have friends. You have girls. You know.
Mhm.
Yes.
I see both sides of that because I get, wanting to be taken care of. To me, it's all on how we present it. I think as with anything, it's not sometimes what we say, it's how we say it. Because, I can get one to be taken care of. I'm sure y'all would want to meet someone who'd want to take care of y'all and just be like, just be a stay-at-home daddy and stuff like that. I'm sure
Oh,
that might
I'd
be
do it
someone
in a
who's
heartbeat.
really-
But I mean, like, I would still do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't have to work and like I could maintain my home and someone else did it, I would still do other things. Like I'd keep my house clean. I mean, there'd be rose petals on the ground, dinner cooked, a hot bath waiting for her, her robe there, a foot massage when she gets out with the machine. I'd listen to her day. You know what I'm saying? Everything's done, just relax. But also I would do other things. You know what I'm saying? Like I would still like do these podcasts and do other things. Like it's still like trying to bring in revenue or something, but I couldn't just live off somebody.
I think I'd be in school. Well, I mean, that's the only way I would do it is
Yeah.
I'd be in like a full-time student, like at a university, trying to get another degree. So in my case, a doctorate.
Yeah.
Like,
Because if
that's
I
the only-
live off somebody,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at their mercy. Like if they decide you can't live off me no more, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I have no work history. I have I've been doing nothing. I have no money. Like, yeah, like
No skill, no nothing.
You're
Yeah.
hoping for alimony at that point. That's the only way around it. Now that I've also seen where people have said, I didn't get a career, so I stayed and I was supporting you, and you were able to make it so I couldn't work. But then once we split, I was supporting, everything on the domestic front. So now I want some alimony to
Yeah.
support now that we're not together. It's very layered and sticky. I will just say each individual circumstance
Yeah.
for that one.
Yep.
But I'm with you. I like having the ability because yes, I'd love to be taken care of, but I wouldn't want someone to be able to hold that over my head or all of
Yeah.
a sudden say, okay, well now you don't have access to this.
Yeah. And I think alimony should only last for so long. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if like that your partner passed away, you know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing. Like you still have to go out there and find something to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you still have to go out there and work. So it shouldn't be, like I know Florida got rid of the law where they made it where you can't just get alimony for the rest of your life or whatever. They put a cap on it. Like I think it's like 3 years or 4 years or something like that. Like 3 years is fine, but I mean, yeah, I just think it's too long. But I just think a lot of people they see all this stuff online and they expect these extravagant gifts and these extravagant men. Like when I'm on the dating sites, you'll see women on there and they'll have like all these stipulations of a man they want.
Yep.
Are we
Yeah.
surprised? I mean, when you listen to a lot of the rap, I mean, it goes both ways here.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to just say rap. Let me backtrack that. I'm not going to generalize like that. But when you listen to a lot of the music, even when you look at pop culture, it's a lot of, about what you look like, the things that we're getting, what so-and-so can do for you, what they can buy for you. And even on the flip side, on the male side, they're talking about the same thing. It just from the male perspective. So then when you get out into the realities of it, people are talking like they're online listening to music. And I think that's probably what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think it could be just like young people doing it too. I mean,
I
because
second,
I mean,
I'll
when
second that.
when you're young, you got the hopes and aspirations to like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then when you get older, you're kind of like, all right. But I mean, I don't know. For me, when I meet people, I'm not expecting money from them. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting anything from. I guess when I meet a woman, I look at her for face value, and when women meet me, they look at my shoes. So sometimes I wear my worst pair of shoes because I mean, like, if that's gonna attract you to me, then cool, I'm out. But I think a lot of people just they want what they see on TV, and it's not realistic.
It's
Yeah.
phases because I'm like, now if I were a single gal and I saw someone, let's say, who had on like Carhartt stuff, dirty shoes and stuff like that, I'm like, ooh, he might be able to fix a lot of stuff, right? That might
Yeah.
intrigue me. That's probably because I'm in a different phase of my life, kind of to your point where if I was young, I might be looking for kind of what I'm seeing on social media. I want the jewelry, the nice shoes, or all the things that I think that they'll be able to give to me so I could have this comfortable lifestyle I feel like I'm entitled to.
Yeah.
So on that topic though, right? So I've been going on dates with there's different types of women in various ages, some mid-20s, mid-30s, mid-40s, whatever. And the older women seem to have it down together as far as, being there, being supportive, everything, cooking, wanting to clean, wanting to actually be in that submissive role and release the feminine energy, as compared to a lot of the younger women that I've run across personally.
Mm.
And why is it though? Like,
I
Yeah.
love that you said that, because sometimes I hear the opposite, where people are saying like we're so locked in and like we're not feminine, like you hear that we're not feminine enough, like, oh, you just want to do everything, you won't let me kind of care for you. But you're saying like, no, that has not been your experience. It's quite the opposite. It's the older people that are like, no, like I'll take the care, and the other ones are like, no, I got it. What are you trying to oppress me or something?
yeah, like for whatever reason, like the younger, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's this concept of instant gratification, right? Along.
Yes. I think Instagram has ruined a lot of women thinking paths. Like I mean, there's nothing more power to you. Like, but I mean, if I could go on Instagram, show a little bit of cleavage, and get 700 likes, you know what I'm saying? Like my standards are going to be higher than my reality.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's fair in the sense to think that way, but it's just reality is not like we were talking about earlier. Where are these dudes at who allegedly exist that will, take care of a woman from age, let's say 22, right? So in theory, you graduate college at 22, you have your degree. So you're not going to use your degree. You're going to be a stay-at-home significant other from the age of 22 to, I don't know, 75, 80, whatever. You know what I mean? All the way till you die, basically. Where are these dudes at? Because I've never met any of them. I don't have any friends that have openly, willingly said, oh, you know what? I'm going to go get my doctorate degree and I'm just going to find one woman and take care of her. And that's all I want to do. I don't ever want her to work. I just want to take care of her. I don't want her to do her own thing, have no hobbies, just be a stay-at-home wife, and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I mean, I met some men that like they'll do the role if they have to, and then you got some dudes that are suckers, they just do it. But it's like, yeah, I never met a guy who's just like, yeah, I want to take care of a woman.
Like it's, and when I say that, I'm not
take care of anybody.
Like,
I mean, some dudes do it. There are some.
Yeah,
maybe,
I was gonna say it's a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Where I think you're gonna have some dudes like, no, that's absolutely all that I want. I don't want her to have to worry about that. And you're gonna have women that like, that's exactly what I want. And then you're gonna have kind of what you were saying. Let's have a little bit more of a partnership in this. We're in this together. So
but I'm older now, so it's like, I mean, that's like young love stuff to me, because nowadays it goes to crap quicker. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was like, oh my God, people are like, when we were kids, it was like, they got a divorce. Oh my God, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it would happen, but it didn't happen like that. And I mean, and now it's just rampant. So huge. So it's like, you know, I'm at the age where I know a couple dudes have been married and they're like, yeah, that didn't work out. This didn't work out. I let her stay at home and this and this and that. And so, I mean, I just think it's, in this day and age, it's if you can afford it, it's cool. But I see a lot of people on the dating apps, I read their profiles and I'm just like, I see why you're here.
Right.
You know, like,
because they're looking for a guy in finance, 6'5", trust fund. I'm just like, I mean, those are the songs, and then we're like, yeah, exactly. I want all the things because I want to have the life of luxury and ease. That's the instant gratification, being like, if I want to hop on a private jet, if I want to be able to buy these nice things, I want to always have access, and I deserve access. That instant gratification. And has online shown anything different?
Online's different. I believe a lot of people online are miserable. That's why they're on there all the time. A lot of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that
they're
judge
taking online mentality and then rolling it into the realities of the dating world.
I always say failed artists are the worst. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's tried to do some kind of art and it wasn't their thing, like they just weren't good. Like if it was music, film, anything, like, you know, paintings, any kind of art, and like you weren't good at it, you feel some type of way. Like people that used to play football and shit, like they didn't even get to start or nothing like that. They have the most to say online about how other people should be playing football and how other people, and they're like the biggest haters. So you get a lot of that online. A lot of that online. And there's a lot of, that's why people hate, because they like, I wish I could do that, but I can't. Look, I mean, look at the way they're doing Diddy. I don't care what nobody says. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did some bad things. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did. But show me the evidence. I can't jump on that bandwagon and just attacking that man like that. That's just not my thing. It's just weird because, you know, they're like shaming people for even saying that they're friends with him. I was like, that's cold game.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we had talked about this previously. Outside of the domestic violence situation that occurred, which is a huge thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that they really have him on that I've seen is buying drugs out of state or whatever, right? Which, if you're having an orgy or multiple orgies, whatever, and freak offs, yeah, all that stuff. Like you're having sex, like a lot of people do drugs and and partake in extracurricular activities like that, like regular people, not just celebrities.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's such a unique and weird situation. It's like, oh, arrest him because he bought drugs and has been having orgies with people. Like, it's so it's sticky.
Exactly.
The allegations that the people where he was putting drugs into the baby oil and people weren't aware. I think it's one thing to go into, let's just say, these freak offs or these orgies, and you're aware that that's like, I want to participate. Yes. Oh, yes. Do I want a little bit of Colombian nose candy to also make this experience great? Yes. Right. I'm going into this space willingly, and I want to partake. But when you're just going, thinking you're going to go to have a good time, or maybe you might get tipsy, but sort of your will to sort of choose is taken away because someone has slipped something in, or maybe you feel coerced due to the power dynamic. That's what I'm not okay with. That's what concerns me. And the amount of people that are allegedly who knew and didn't do anything. I think that's what's concerning to me. You're right. It's all allegations, but it's concerning.
So just a question of food for thought. How do you, like, not you personally, but if somebody in that situation, if they feel the peer pressure, right? Like, oh, I'm around all these powerful people. Like, I mean, how do you, can you use it as justification? Like, I was around too many high-powered people and I felt pressured to still perform in these acts. Because at the end of the day, everybody's still human.
Well, they had the one lady on there. She was like, I went to his parties for 5 years and I was hired to do this. And like, someone was like, well, you're not a victim. Like, you just regret doing it.
Yeah, you did a job.
Paid. You did a job. You got paid to do it. For me, I'm like this. Why didn't they take Puffy down during the Me Too movement?
Exactly.
Why are we doing this now?
That also gives me cause to pause, if you will. Why now? Why not before?
Because I'm like this. If it was this much and it was so long and you didn't get him during the Me Too movement, like, everything you're doing right now doesn't have any merit to me. I mean, the abuse allegations, he's not perfect. He's a human. Things happen. You know what I'm saying? He changed his name to Brother Love. He could have changed. I'm not sticking up for him. I'm just pointing this out. Everyone that survived the Me Too movement was fine. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So why are we doing this now to him?
Fine, that's traumatizing.
Yeah, no, not the people. No, not the people that were the victims. I'm saying the people, anybody that did anything.
Okay. Right? Okay, those who were accused.
Yeah, those were. I mean, think about it. They took a lot of people down during the Me Too movement.
They did.
They took a lot of people down. Why didn't you get Puffy then? If you have these Me Too style huge allegations of these assaults and all this stuff, why wasn't he taken down during Me Too? Why are we doing this now?
Yeah,
it's not making sense. Or it makes sense. It's like someone's coming after him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And people are seeing the blood. Like, you could have got him years ago. Just like I said about Bill Cosby and all these people, you could have took them down in the 90s because it was a lot easier.
Years ago.
In the 80s.
And the same thing with Weinstein, it's like people knew.
Weinstein had white power. Excuse my language, I hate to say it, but like,
he had that privilege.
They still show Weinstein movies on TV.
Well, I mean, Pulp Fiction, we were just talking about it. That's a Weinstein movie. So, but all that to say is just that I almost think that when I look at like celebrities specifically, we almost have to look at them just a little bit differently, because like you almost said, on one end of that spectrum, right, a person who tried to be creative and did not succeed, they're really salty. But then think about the other spectrum of people who really just want to be famous and they're willing to do whatever, right?
Yeah.
So they're willing to be used and abused in the sake of, I'm just hoping that I get that an opportunity.
Yes.
So somewhere in there, I think you've got people who are willing and ready to take advantage of those individuals. It's just the nature of the game, it sounds like. I'm not saying it's great, but
no, that's true. That's actually a really good point, because there are people that are willing to do whatever.
Somebody brought that up about Usher.
They've been coming at Usher for years.
No. I'm saying about this whole situation, Usher's involvement with P. Diddy and everything. They've been saying that well, even in interviews, Usher's like, I'm grateful for the opportunities. Like, it was, there was, of course, risk involved with it, and I took the risk, and like, it, was worth it. Like, not justifying, any wrong actions, but Usher has openly said in interviews and multiple interviews actually that, there's stuff that happened, but that, that is what it is. Like it's that's what it took to get to this level. Like, not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's wrong.
What kind of stuff was he just vague on it?
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that you leave it up to interpretation. But
yeah, so I mean, he could have been like
anything negative. That's the problem. Like if he was addressing it in a negative light, he would specifically address the events like, oh, like of course we've heard rumors, right, in the community, like, oh, this person did this or this person did that. Like, so there was an article that came out a long time ago, not a long time ago, a couple months back before the Super Bowl, and it had mentioned, it was like this is an R&B artist who was performing at the Super Bowl, a male R&B artist that's performing at the Super Bowl. It didn't specifically state a name, but it was Usher, obviously, and so it's so fucking interesting.
But I mean, that was in the paperwork. The guy just wrote a whole bunch of stuff in there. Some of it became true, some of it they have to prove it. And it's crazy how it's like, they're locking people up just off words from like years ago.
Yeah, that is insane. I don't it's hard to develop an opinion on that, but it's true. Like, off of allegations is absolutely, it's like your whole life.
Allegation. I mean, like, I'm not putting it behind people. I've met a lot of women that a lot of bad things have happened to them. Yeah. And so I believe all their stories. You know what I'm saying? Like that they tell me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, bad things do happen, but for people to do it just for money, and just the wild allegations, and like with and I'm not defending any of their stuff. I'm just defending what's happened. I'm just analyzing what I'm seeing from the general public. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, it's wild, a bunch of wild stuff. Excuse me.
And just to pull that thread even further, I think of that movie Baby Reindeer. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that, but there's the point where he is basically working with this guy who can help make him successful. The guy's like, yeah, I really like your writing, but every time they're working together, he gets drugged and then assaulted, sexually and stuff like that. But he keeps going back to it because he's like, oh, as soon as I get big, then I can move away. But he's just still like, he wants just to be good at what he's doing or famous so much more than just like, let me stop talking to this guy.
So I mean, he knows the guy's doing it to him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so and in the movie he's like, he's not with it, or he's just okay with it?
So he's like not okay with it, because every time he like wakes up from it or anything, he's very emotional and he's pretty much feels like he's crying and all of that, but he can't tell him no. The guy will have him over and like, don't worry, it'll be fine. And then he finds himself in a situation where he's being drugged, and then he's like drugged and the guy is like assaulting him, and then he's sleeping and he's like, this keeps happening, and he just keeps putting himself in a position because he's like, I want to work with him, I want to get famous, I want my work to be publicized and things like that.
But I mean, if you go back like the second or third time, you kind of like it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like you're naive. Is there a bit of naiveness going on? Like, okay, maybe they've got their fill, so maybe they'll just stop. But if anything, it goes to question about why people time the things that they do. Back to your original point. Why now? Like,
why now? Yeah.
You're right. There's a lot of people being put on blast. Why didn't people come forward then for P. Diddy? Why didn't people expose everyone? R. Kelly, when he was being exposed, why didn't people expose P. Diddy like they are now?
R. Kelly's been bad for years.
Yeah. But we knew that. Yeah. We knew that though. But it was one of those things that we just kind of heard.
It's also like, think about this. It's like, we knew R. Kelly was bad for years, but what company, why were people still pushing him? Not just, you can't look at the black community. Like, if they didn't, the music execs, the record labels, you know what I'm saying? They allowed this to go out. They allowed this message. They allowed all the messages to go out. They allowed Future to Percocets, Molly Percocets on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They let Tekashi 6ix9ine, or Daniel Hernandez is his real name, get big and famous. They let this stuff get out there. You know what I'm saying? So who's allowing it? Like, let's do that.
And I wonder if that's
it's the same.
The bigger devils that we hear about, the allegedly like the Tommy Mottolas, the Clive Davises, and I don't know. I've just heard stories. I'm rereading on the internet, like I'm sure a lot of our listeners are. and just how they have done some things that in the name for profit and money.
Yeah, and so it's wild, like wild stuff. Like for me, it's like they said the liquor company is coming after him. I don't want to get too in depth on it. I think we kind of got off the topic, but it was still a good discussion. I'm gonna have to end it now, folks. We've been here for about an hour. You guys got any shout outs you want to send to anybody?
Shout out to all the listeners. Thank you for constant support and for rocking with us.
You'll say it best. I'll leave it at that. Thank you everyone for listening.
Yep. Thank you everyone for listening. Please continue to support us and please support Uncommon Courtesy. Support the Nightly Strange. Thank you, listeners.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. This will be the Nightly Strange. Catch me October 17th at the Tracy and Movie House. I will be telling jokes. You can come down there and buy your tickets. $10 a piece. I got them in hand. This is the Nightly Strange. I'm D-Mac.
I'm Rozzy the Champ.
I'm Kay Stanley.
And I'm Kilo Keys on the track.
We'll see y'all next week.
You're welcome to the Nightly Strange.
Thanks, God.